Hey, welcome back to a new season.
Come on.
A new season of the Extended Cut podcast. My name's Nick.
And my name's Mike.
We work at a church called Gold Creek Community Church. We are not sponsored by Polar Seltzer.
Don't want to be.
Where do these fall? LaCroix, Solier, Polars. What do you think?
Calm down. Spindrifts are above unless you put them in a different category.
Spindrift is, they have calories.
They
15.
have like 3.
No, they have more.
They have actual fruit juice.
Okay, we digress. So let's put them in. Okay, fine. You can add them. They're at the top.
Okay. Spindrift.
And then what's the hierarchy from there?
LaCroix.
And then Solier or Polar. See, that's a tough one. I know. They're both not great. Anyway.
Topo Chico?
Top of the list for me.
I think that goes above.
Exactly. I feel like international when I'm having a Topo Chico. It's like, am I in Cuba, bro? What I mean?
Cuba's crazy. Have you been to Cuba?
Mm-mm.
Have you been to anywhere over there?
What do you mean by over there? Do you mean the Caribbean? Yeah, I used to live in Florida.
No, like different countries, dog.
Yeah, I've been to the DR.
Okay, I've been to the DR.
Great.
When did you go?
2011.
For why?
One for my honeymoon, one for a mission trip. Different experiences.
You went for your honeymoon to DR.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
You too?
No, I went when I was 12 playing baseball. I don't ever bring it up, but I did. No, I played at the Orioles complex down there.
Wild.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll earmark that for a later episode.
Yeah.
DR recap.
Yeah.
Welcome back. Extended Cut. If you're new to the pod, new friends.
Yeah.
We record periodically, at least once per series.
Yep.
Sometimes more.
We're in a new season, you said, to intro this pod.
We're in a new
what does that
season.
mean, Nick?
Well, in a new season, we're going to have a filming window.
Yes.
And so don't exactly know for how long or when. My guess is we'll have some great content around our upcoming series for September, Life Optimized.
Yes, I'm excited about
That's
this.
going to be a good one. And then I don't even want to debut the new series, but then we got one after that.
It's going to be exciting.
It's going to be dope.
Come on.
Be good.
But
It'll
the
be
one
good
we're
stuff. One we're in, new one, called
go.
House Rules.
Come on.
Building the Kingdom.
Building the Kingdom.
The graphic is a little bit Building the House Rules Kingdom is how it would read.
Yeah, but they're different fonts, so they separate.
Okay, word. What's the we don't need to recap the
Do you
series.
play games at your house?
Mm-mm.
You've never played a single game? Like,
my wife and I can't play games.
both competitive?
Hyper.
Do you guys fight?
This is what happens if we try to play a game.
I'm excited.
Predictably.
Got it.
If I'm losing, I'm going to be fine. I'm like, oh man, just a game, whatever.
Because he's used to losing.
If I'm winning, I am going to be the worst person to be around you've ever seen in your life. I'm going to be rubbing in every nuance.
Got it.
I am a great smack talker if I'm up.
Got it.
And I know all of the pressure points for my wife to send her into the stratosphere of anger. And so I do that whenever we play games.
What does she do when she's winning?
Tries to make me feel bad about it. Well, usually I win. That's the other thing. Usually I'm winning, and then if I'm winning, I am insufferable. Because of those things, we don't play games anymore.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
I
brought that up because house rules.
House rules. That's where the series title came from.
Same game, different rules. You know what I mean?
Same game, different rules. Have you ever been a victim of a bad house rules game scenario?
Well, I feel like in college, beer pong rules are always,
Okay. What's beer pong like?
It's so stupid.
To the pure, all things are pure.
Well, there's just different rules. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's been a long time. No, but like cornhole, people got different rules on cornhole at the house. Can you bounce it off the ground and it bounce onto the board?
Okay, that's
rules.
fair.
Same game. Everybody knows a game at different rules. You know what I mean?
I feel like the house rules where that really plays out is like darts. When I think about house rules,
it's a generational thing, Nick.
You think about darts, which I don't even know how you'd play different rules on that.
Yeah.
Different games, maybe. Joker's Wild. Not a dart game.
We had house rules at our house for Monopoly. We just had a bunch of ways to make extra money.
That tracks. Yeah. That tracks, Mike.
Yeah, house rules.
Okay, so week 1 in the series, we are. I hope this theme holds. I want to try to hold it. So we want to do Acts chapter 19. By the way, not too long ago, I'm a little embarrassed by this. Is there an embarrassing trait on the pod? I'm a little bit embarrassed. I mean, I knew they weren't in the original text. I'm talking about chapters and verses in the Bible. Do you know where they came from?
Where what came from?
Chapters and verses. Why do we have chapters and verses in the Bible?
I know that they weren't original. When did I don't know when it came. Did it come in? Good. Did it come in around the Reformation?
No.
When it got translated to English?
No.
Okay.
It's even better. Guess. I'm glad you didn't know. Okay, I feel like a lot of people don't know this, and and we're Bible people,
which is why we don't trip out when we just read half of a verse. It's like, dude, they weren't there in the beginning.
100%. The reason we have chapters and verses in the Bible is because the Archbishop of Canterbury, the head of the Church of England, was riding his horse and kept losing his place. So he commissioned a bunch of bishops to put chapters and verses in the. That's why.
Come on.
So I do feel like sometimes, which that is kind of, you're like, really? This came from a horse? And so that being said, like, I think God uses all of it at the end. But on top of that, I think sometimes you'll have like, oh yeah, like I see this a lot from I'll call them social media hotshots. Not what we're trying to be. But like from like in social media hotshots or like guys doing hot takes on Instagram or something, they're like, well, we know what like Romans 7 says. As if like Romans 7 has its own like thesis but like that's not, each chapter is not meant to be segmented in such a way.
No, it is a letter.
It's a letter. Yeah.
I don't put chapters and verses in my letters.
I know. Sometimes you should in your text. They're kind of long.
Dude, I get told I'm an angry texter. Have you noticed this?
Is that because of your issue? Do you want to talk about that?
Bro, what? You can't just point and go, because of your issue, do you want to talk about that?
I don't know if that's a private thing that you...
For those of you that are on audio only, Nick pointed at his upper thigh and said, do you want to talk about your issue?
Yeah.
For those of you on video, I want to be very clear. It is a
inner thigh.
It's athletic injury of me being a freak of nature.
Mike.
Okay, no. Okay,
Young
Big Summer Sunday.
Yes.
Great summer. We've had a great summer. Big Summer Sunday in Monroe. We were out there having a good time. Water slide,
one outdoor
food trucks,
service,
all the things. We had one outdoor service. It was great.
95 people more than last year.
Yeah, it was great.
Wild.
It was a big
revival.
It was a lot of fun.
It was good.
And this guy at my church.
You want to say his name for accountability reasons?
I believe it was Nicholas Varberg.
Okay, NV.
Which I love you, man. But
we love you, Nikki V.
Started recruiting some dads to do a 40-yard dash on the football field right next to the thing.
I've seen that go so well so many times.
I said so many times, I'm not doing this. Yeah. I run, but I run slow for long periods of time, not short bursts. I did it, came out hot, was doing well, was in the top 3 out of these gentlemen.
Okay.
Got video proof.
Okay.
32, 35-yard line, feel a pop in my groin, and it hurts to walk and sit down and do everything in my life at this point.
So your issue,
yes,
is
so I hurt my groin,
a pulled
and
groin.
How that is on the pod.
You've been icing that?
I have been.
Okay,
I'm
good.
getting one of those electric pulse machines from a buddy,
dude.
Hopefully he's got extra pads, but
I need my own separate episode that I can film with commentary. Extended cut after dark, because I got some good jokes.
Subscription only, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, this is a good side hustle for us.
This is a good sidey.
Get us to Israel.
Yes. Okay. Anyway, that sounded. We're doing a church trip to walk where Jesus walked in Israel.
Like, get us to Israel.
Yeah, I know. Like, you sound like you're trying to like pilgrimage home. Like, what? It could be confusing.
No, like our church is taking
get us to Israel. Like, for what?
Dude, that clip, get us to Israel, is wild.
Remember when...
so I hurt myself.
You hurt your groin.
I'm in pain. I have a race in a couple weeks, and I need to feel better.
Okay. That came out because you were saying about the angry texter, then we were talking about the letters. In the message series that we're in, we're doing Acts 19, again, chapter and verses, but in that part of the Acts of the Apostles, written by Luke... it's the part where Paul is in Ephesus, Ephesus, the city. I wish I had a map in front of me. What is it in? Do you have your phone? Modern day, I'm going to say modern day Macedonia or maybe Turkey. Gotta, as we pull that up, I think it's actually Turkey. I'm going to say Turkey. Final answer, Bill.
It's coming up.
Okay, all right. Paul's there. And then as Mike looks that up, what we're trying to do is we're paralleling that portion of Acts with the entire letter to the Ephesians. So what do you know what you're doing there?
No, you're going to have to do this.
Oh my gosh, let me see this. Okay, what in the modern, just click on the map ski and zoom me outy. Yep. Modern day Turkey. Way over on the western coast of that place. Okay, great. Major Roman city, that part of the world, still more for me to learn about Ephesus. Big riot there that happens in Acts 19. They have a big temple to Artemis. The silversmiths are disrupted. Oh, dude, somebody got me in the lobby, by the way, because one of the things this week was like, we were talking about the new identity, and which is powerful. And then Paul writes like, you have new life in Christ. He writes this in Ephesians is the last point on this outline. Anyway, but like one of the things it says is that everybody those who practice sorcery brought their scrolls and burned them.
Yeah.
And then someone after service, they're from another country, they're from the continent of Africa, and they were like, hey, in Africa, actually, that stuff's a real deal. In the Western United States, like, not so much, I was like, totally. I was talking to another guy there where the three of us are talking. One guy's from the continent of Africa, one guy's from India, I'm from here. And so like, hey, demonic activity, this is real. And then the one guy was like, yeah, in the US, I guess you'd be like, here's my Harry Potter books. That got me.
That is wild.
That was pretty good.
Harry Potter books.
Got some Harry Potter books. Which I think J.K. Rowling's like kind of a believer. I don't know now, but we digress.
Never read a Harry Potter book, never watched a movie.
Yeah, I never was into them.
Yeah.
I in 7th grade, it was like it was in our class reading. They would read it. It was read to us. I remember that.
In class?
Yeah, like our teacher would just like read at the end of class if we had extra time.
Like just read aloud and you'd have to listen?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. It's a wild time, Mike. I know. That's in the decade between us, that's what you missed. So
praise God.
Yeah. So
Dude,
anyway,
I had my iPod.
she would read Harry Potter, and I just remember thinking like, this is boring. That was all.
Got it.
So
got it.
Yeah. So Acts 19, Ephesians, paralleling those things. What do you feel like didn't make it in this week that you left on the cutting room floor?
Man, I feel like I had to be quick this Sunday with that outdoor service. Like my message was 20 minutes, 22 minutes.
Okay.
I just didn't feel like I got to dive into the Acts 19 very much.
Bummer. It's a good one.
I know. And I knew it was there. I just, I didn't really get to dive into it at all. Like it was more of a framework to get into the outline.
Sure.
I think for us too, we're just like, this is like a vision series kind of for our church a little bit.
Yep.
And we're still so new. So I feel like I got to take advantage of these opportunities to like, this is why the way we are, the way that we are, and talking about just creating a space for people to find hope and stuff like that. But I feel like, as I was thinking about Ephesians and the part that stood out to me is that little snippet we took, I think it was Acts chapter 19. It was like, and there was 12 of them with them.
Yes.
And just that part of like starting small, seeing the fruit of it, all this sort of stuff. And just as a church planter, I remember like the 7 families that originally said yes. 14 people
had to feel wild.
It was wild, dude. Like no, hadn't hosted anything. I was just like, hey, we're going to do this thing. And I think it's going to work. And then like yesterday, we do one service outside, both services together, and just seeing.
Not every week. You did that yesterday.
Yeah, we did it this last whatever. Once a year, we do one service outside together, and it's both services each year. This is twice now in a row. I have had people come up to me afterwards that have said, "Oh my gosh, I didn't even know like." One of my family members goes to the other service. I'm like, we're not that big of a church.
Wow.
Like, how does that?
Love that.
You guys must not be that connected.
Yeah, totally.
Jeez. That happened again this year. Oh, dude, my cousin goes to this church. It's like, bro.
Well, it is Monroe. A lot of cousins in a good way. It's a family place. A place for families.
Oh, dude, that was a jab.
No,
I needed jab.
I love Monroe.
That's wild.
How's your groin? You old enough?
Dude,
Okay.
Dude.
Okay, good.
He lives.
Just checking.
It hurts.
Mike.
It hurts.
I gotta ice it. Yeah, it was interesting. I think this week I had fun digging into that part where it says that Paul like starts out in the synagogues and then has to move to the lecture hall of Tyrannus, which I thought was interesting in that, the lecture hall of Tyrannus is probably teaching modern philosophies of the day.
Yep.
Even other, like teaching modern philosophies, probably espousing imperial cult worship, worshiping the emperor, worshiping other gods. I mean, it's like this whole discourse around morality and politics and spirituality. And yet here's Paul's message that begins to like transcend that.
Yep.
And I thought that was interesting because like it was different than just regular optimism. You know, there could be a lot of reasons to be optimistic in today's day and age, or there were a lot of you could hack your way to optimism all the way from the time of Paul to the time of today.
Yep.
But then there's like a difference between hope and optimism, so there's that deeper sense of what hope does.
Yeah, where do you think that parallel is to the culture that we live in, just in terms of like the lecture halls of Tyrannus? Do you think it's like a university today type of vibe? Like, what do you think that?
Yeah, well, I mean, this is the extended cut.
That's why I asked the question.
This is a good question, Mike. Flip the timer. Might need the whole thing. No.
15 minutes in.
13 something. I think the modern day lecture hall of Tyrannus is probably anywhere people would feel like they can find hope.
Okay.
So I think that could be in universities. That could be social media. They're just like, what are the philosophical ideals that people try to put forward and say, this is where I find hope?
Okay.
I would personalize it and say, almost a year ago, Charlie Kirk was killed.
Yep.
We walked through that as a church. I definitely didn't do that perfectly. I don't know that any church did, but yeah. I mean, I definitely didn't do it perfectly. I felt like I was like learning as I went and was trying to dialogue with everybody. It seemed to affect everybody. It's kind of like a flashpoint in the nation for sure. One of the things that happened was like in some of the online dialogue around it, it was like literally one of the quotes was, all this church talks about is hope. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. Like, as influential as Charlie was, I think what that person probably meant is like, we need to be connected to these ideals or fill in the blank. And I'm kind of like, well, when is hope in Jesus not enough?
Yeah.
And if hope in Jesus is not enough, we probably in some way, shape, or form, just a little, we're like delving in the other lecture halls of Tyrannus.
Got it.
We're kind of like, we've now diverted into Jesus and something.
I think you're right.
Which is like some kind of robust philosophy that explains, so I feel like that's probably a gray area. I don't have all my thoughts fully formed around it, but it's kind of like, yeah, once hope in Jesus is not the thing, then there's another thing, then the waters are muddied.
And why do you think people get there? Like, how does someone go? Because I think most people, at least from my experience, come to faith in Jesus on fire for the Lord, tend to be how it goes. Everything all in. Then things aren't whatever.
Yeah, sure.
But then I feel like this is common. It's not necessarily always like conservative ideals or whatever they could be.
Fill in the blank.
That was the example that you used.
Right.
But there's something that creeps in that it is a Jesus and hope for some reason is not enough anymore.
Right.
What do you think makes people get to that?
Yeah.
Because I don't think it's definitely not intentional. I don't think anybody goes.
It probably starts out in a really good place. I'll punch really hard the other way and say, okay, let's say somebody comes in, gets transformed by Jesus, they find hope in him, it transforms the way that they live, and they start doing a lot more for poor and suffering people around the world. Really important. We see that. That's cannot deny it. That is a core part of Jesus' ministry, is making tons of time for poor and hurting people.
Yep.
But then what can happen, I feel like, is people go, well, the church should do more, or Christians should do more. People aren't doing enough. People aren't doing as much as me to meet the tangible needs of poor and hurting people. Mm-hmm. And then what ends up happening is like, well, the message of Jesus falls out the bottom, or the divine message of Jesus, the kind of the hard line about Jesus as divine, that can fall away. It becomes more about the social expressions, about what are you doing for Jesus.
For sure.
And so I think to go there, that the person who says hope in Jesus, we should really be talking about this. Hope in Jesus, we should be doing more for poor people. Mm-hmm. Hope in Jesus, we should be talking more about conservative politics. Hope in Jesus, we should be doing more to help immigrants and refugees. Mm-hmm. I think both people, this is the journey everybody's on. You asked, why do we get there? I think for both people, they don't see the world changing on the timeline they want it to.
Got it.
And that's hard. I think
I've never thought about it that way.
They go, if I'm going to follow Jesus, I want to see this stuff transform. I want the world to go how I want it to go now. And
which I don't think like the frame of thinking that I think gets them going in that direction, I think is always good. It's like, yeah, Jesus has called me. I'm inspired to do this because of what I see Jesus do in Scripture.
Yeah.
But it's when they start applying that line of behavior or living to be like the only way to follow after Jesus is where I think lines start to get a little bit crossed, a little blurry.
I think it happens in church all the time. I mean, we navigate this, I think, internally at Gold Creek. One of the things we're always moving around on at Gold Creek a little bit. It's good. It's fluid. Sometimes it's tense. Sometimes it's easy, blah, blah, blah. But like this idea of discipleship.
Yep.
When obviously the Bible outlines, I think pretty clearly, what does it mean to be a disciple? It means to be more like Jesus. Mm-hmm. What are the routes God uses to get people there? All kinds of different ones.
For sure.
And so I think that's where what can happen is, and I do this, so I'm guilty of this, you're probably guilty of it, each one and I think we're all susceptible to it. It takes a tremendous amount of awareness and maturity to drop the expectations around this, which those expectations being, we should do what worked for me. Mm. And I get why people say that.
For sure.
Of course it worked for you. Of course it was powerful for you.
Yeah.
I think you see this. This is why I think it's so important. Like, okay, so I've been working on this concept. I don't know if I'll have any other outlet for it, Mike.
I'm here for it right here. Okay. Here's the spot. Producer Orson's excited.
Yeah, producer Orson. We're into.
He has a fan.
I heard he's doing.
I'm just kidding. No, someone just ran into him at a church event. Was like, I love when you're on the pod. Like when you roll.
I know, awesome. Man.
We couldn't do it without Orson. Orson's the best.
We couldn't do it without Orson. Okay, so I think with that concept about like, why do people get frustrated? Why is hope in Jesus not enough? Why are the lecture halls of Tirana so appealing? Fill in the blank, discipleship, and that whole conversation.
Yep.
I think sometimes in certain church environments that are so powerful, I think one of the things you see in North America right now is like a lot of churches that are doing really well, that I respect a lot. Churches that are doing really well do a great job with their brand, And so, and I would say nothing wrong with it. There's nothing inherently wrong with it. I do think there's a very easy shadow side to that, where if you're a church that has a very strong personal brand and people come to know Jesus in that brand, and that's so strong, I think what you've done on accident, if you don't connect people to the broader Jesus movement and story, you've shallowed the soil in which they can grow. And
I think, okay, keep going.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree with you.
You've shallowed the soil. When Jesus says there's rocky soil, when he says scatter seed, that part of that is like if there's bedrock and not much soil, the roots can't go down that deep.
Sure.
Because what you've done, if as a church your brand is so strong, then people can only grow in an environment like that.
100%.
As opposed to, I think that's one of the things that's so important for Gold Creek to say, dude, we do church a certain way. There's lots of right ways to do church. We've tried to distill this down into kind of like the big bucket items.
Yep.
So that if you're potted in soil here, you can easily transplant to other soil.
Yeah.
You can it's not like, oh my gosh, there's not a church like that. Because I think as pastors, I mean, now we're just down.
Dude, go for it.
As pastors,
I got a follow-up question here in a second.
Like what we kind of want when people go to different churches, that happens all the time.
We want them to think ours was better.
We want them to kind of be bummed out at the new one.
We want them to miss our church.
Which is crazy.
Yes.
Like, let's just say it. That's bad. That is not a good thing.
Yeah.
And
it's some sin in our hearts for sure.
That's not the kingdom.
Yep.
That is not the kingdom to say, I want you to like your new church, but like kind of not like it.
Yeah. Like when you move to Texas, I want you to go there and I want you to kind of miss Gold Creek.
Yeah. Which is to say that Gold Creek's about us.
For sure.
And so,
how do we as leaders, what's our responsibility in making sure that, I think this can be twofold. Like, what do we do in our leadership in terms of like, as we lead the church, how do we communicate? What do we need to do from that front? And then personally to deal with that.
Yeah. I mean, I think as we lead the church, I think, one of the things that we celebrate is other churches doing well. You know, I think we can platform other churches, celebrate other churches, give to other churches, fill in the blank. I mean, that's one of the things we're trying to do at Gold Creek is like, we definitely, this is more of like our side hustle, but like, we have a thing here called Lead Northwest every year. And that is to say Lead Northwest or any pastors gatherings we've done are the furthest thing from like, hey, we've got this figured out. You should come learn from us.
For sure.
Way more of a sense of let's gather together and celebrate what God's doing collectively in our region and be encouraged by that.
More, we got a big box building that we can gather.
We got a Costco over here, dude. Concrete floor, metal walls, and not for long, maybe. See what the Lord does. So not that our buildings bring us to Israel. Dude, Mike couldn't even make the journey because of his crotch. But
dude, this is crazy, dude.
Groin. His groin.
Your text to me the last 24 hours have been wild. Not safe for work. Just kidding.
No. GC Extended Cut After Dark, man. Unfiltered commentary.
Subscription only.
So, and then channel. Personally, I think for me personally, I think you do this as well. Like, and I think a lot of people, I mean, hopefully we'll attract people like this. I am always deeply encouraged by seeing other churches in action.
Yep.
So I think for me, that's like sometimes I think if I were overly critical or maybe just really honest, sometimes like in movements where like a church is very strong in how they do it, they don't even really want to see other models, just kind of like, no, we're convinced, we know how we want to do that. And I can't fault people for being how they are. I just think for me, if that were me, that would be incredibly limiting, and I would start to read my own press clippings.
Yeah.
I heard somebody describe it like this. They were talking about AI, just to hit all the bingo, hit them all on the pod today. They were talking about AI.
Israel AI and
we brought up Charlie Kirk. I mean, we're not joking about that. So, okay.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah. So, but they were talking about AI and they were talking about the language models and how, basically what gives that more power, like for Anthropic or ChatGPT, which runs on OpenAI, if you don't train the language model, the large language model will interpret you but still be itself. And then what some people are doing now is they're like building a library of their own voice that, they can, what do they call that? Orson will know, where they don't connect it to the rest of the world. Air gap. Yeah. Never mind.
Is this like the thing where people will like create AI versions of themselves and then people can subscribe and like ask them questions and stuff?
Yeah.
Like a
little bit.
You know Andrew Hermosi?
No.
He's like a business guru guy. He's like done this where he's created an AI of himself.
Yes.
That like normally like coaching calls would be like individually
Yes,
with him that the
sure.
people can pay
This would be a good
But now
example.
they get access to his AI.
Right.
And like answers just like him because it has all of this
he's
stuff.
trained that all of that.
Yes.
That's what I feel like I would be like if I didn't go to other churches.
Got it.
All I know is I could find
Your
ways
thoughts
to
on
read
things.
my own take on my own stuff.
Yeah.
But that becomes circular very quickly.
Yeah. It's like looking in a mirror of a picture of yourself in the mirror, and then it just kind of keeps on.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, yeah. And I mean, I think part of the reason we need all kinds of churches is because there are all kinds of people in the world.
Come on.
And all kinds of churches reach all kinds of people, and all kinds of pastors different kinds of pastors reach different kinds of people.
Yep.
So,
100%. Dude, I'm all for this.
yeah. But if you distill it down, it's where it's like house rules, got to be a foundation of hope. Because at some point, the hope is in Jesus, not in a ministry style.
100%, dude.
Not trying to punch anybody out there. Just saying.
That's what it's about.
That's what it's about. Thanks for checking out the Gold Creek Extended Cut podcast, season 2 underway. See you next week.
Peace.